Be me 28 years old, wage cuck in some soulless tech company life is a monotonous cycle of debugging code I don't care about and microwaving sad. Lonely dinners, pretty sure my houseplants are judging my life choices. Decide to finally do something about the gnawing emptiness inside my diet. Consists of tendies and existential dread. My only social interaction is with the Domino's delivery guy, yeah. It's time for therapy. Spend a week doom scrolling through Psychology Today profiles. They all have the same generic stock photos and vaguely comforting bios. Dr. Amelia Worthington, PhD in feelings and sadness, specializes in helping you unlock your best self. Cringe.jpg. Finally find one that seems less. Corporate Dr. Evelyn Reed, nice smile. Seems genuine. Her bio mentions dealing with anxiety and social awkwardness in young men. Bingo exe. Book an appointment. Feeling a weird mix of hope and crippling anxiety. Fast forward to the day of the appointment, sitting in the waiting room. Leg doing the cha-cha slide on its own. The decor is all muted tones and abstract art that looks like my last Rorschach test. A woman opens the door to the office. It's her. Dr. Evelyn Reed. She's even prettier in person. Oh, good, she's coming this way. Gif, my name, she asks. Her voice is calm and soothing. I stand up, my knees feeling like they're made of jello. We shake hands. Her grip is firm but gentle. My palm is probably sweating like a sinner in church. We go into her office. It's cozy, not sterile like I expected. Big comfy armchair for me. She sits opposite in a similar one. She asks me the usual stuff. What brought me in? What I'm hoping to get out of therapy. I mumble something about work stress and feeling disconnected. It's like my vocal cords have decided to take an unscheduled vacation. She's patient. Just nods and encourages me to take my time as I'm talking. I can't shake this feeling that I know her from somewhere. Her eyes, the way she tilts her head when she's listening. It's familiar. I decide to just ask. Maybe we went to the same college or something. This is going to sound strange, I start. But have we met before? You look really familiar. She smiles a little. I was wondering if you'd recognize me. My brain goes into overdrive, flipping through my mental Rolodex of every woman I've ever interacted with. High school. No, college doesn't seem right. Then it hits me like a freight train. Middle school. Evelyn Reed. Oh no. The memories come flooding back. Evie, I whisper, the name tasting like ash in my mouth. Her smile falters for a second. A flicker of something unreadable in her eyes. I haven't been called that in a long time. She says softly, Evie Reed, the girl I and my group of idiot friends used to torment relentlessly in middle school. We called her Weird Evie. She was quiet, always had her nose in a book. Wore clothes that were a little too big for her, an easy target for a bunch of insecure preteens. We'd accidentally knock her books out of her hands in the hallway. We'd steal her pencils and then find them for her. I once put a worm in her sandwich during a field trip. The shame hits me with the force of a physical blow. I want the ground to open up and swallow me whole. I am so sorry, I stammer, my face burning. I was a horrible kid. There's no excuse for how I treated you. She just looks at me, her expression unreadable. This is it. She's going to kick me out, tell me to find another therapist. I deserve it. I appreciate you saying that. She finally says, her voice even. It was a long time ago. We were children. But there's a distance in her eyes that wasn't there before. The rest of the session is a blur. I can barely make eye contact. The weight of my past actions pressing down on me. She remains professional. But the warmth is gone when the session is over. I practically flee from her office. I spend the next week in a self-induced shame spiral, replaying every cringeworthy moment from middle school. How could I have been such a monster? I almost cancel my next appointment a dozen times, but a part of me knows I need to face this. I owe her that much. At least the next session is even more awkward than the first. We talk about my anxiety. But it feels like there's this giant elephant in the room, an elephant wearing a hello. My name is your traumatic childhood sticker. I can't focus. My mind keeps drifting back to the past. Finally, I can't take it anymore. Can we? Can we talk about what happened? I ask, my voice barely a whisper. She takes a deep breath. If that's what you feel we need to do. And so it all comes out. I apologize again. More coherently this time, I tell her about the guilt I've carried. How seeing her has brought it all back to the surface. She listens patiently, her therapist mask firmly in place. When I'm done, She's quiet for a long time. Do you remember the talent show in 8th grade? She asks, her voice soft. I rack my brain. A vague memory of a school assembly surfaces. I was going to read a poem I wrote. She continues, you and your friends were in the front row making fun of me before I even started. The memory sharpens. I remember snickering with my friends, making stupid faces. I got so nervous. I dropped my note cards and ran off the stage. A fresh wave of shame washes over me. I had completely forgotten about that. I didn't write for a long time after that, she says, her gaze distant. You made me feel so small. So worthless. The words are like a punch to the gut. This isn't just about stolen pencils and worms in sandwiches. I had a real, lasting impact on her. I hurt her in a way I'm only just beginning to understand. Tears well up in my eyes. I can't stop them. I'm a grown man. Crying in my therapist's office over something I did when I was 13. Pathetic exe. She passes me the tissue box, her expression softening slightly. But she says, in a strange way, you're also the reason I'm here today. I look at her, confused. That experience, it made me want to understand people. She explains why we hurt each other, how we heal. It's what led me to psychology. My brain is struggling to process this. The girl whose confidence I shattered is now a therapist, helping people for a living, and I, the bully, am one of her patients. The irony is so thick you could cut it with a knife. We spend the rest of the session talking about it, really talking. It's raw and it's painful, but it's also cleansing. For the first time, it feels like we're on the same level, not therapist and patient, not bully and victim, but two adults trying to make sense of the past. The next few weeks are a turning point. Our sessions are still difficult. We're unpacking a lot of baggage, my baggage, her baggage that I helped create, but there's a new sense of trust between us. I'm more open with her, telling her things I've never told anyone about my lonely childhood, my overbearing parents, my deep-seated fear of failure. She's a damn good therapist. She helps me see the patterns in my behavior, the roots of my anxiety. She gives me tools to cope, exercises to practice, and for the first time in a long time, I start to feel a glimmer of hope. One day, at the end of our session, she says something that surprises me. You've changed, you know. I look at her. I hope so. No, I mean it, she says, a genuine smile reaching her eyes. The boy I knew in middle school, he's gone. I see a man who is trying, who is kind. Her words mean more to me than she'll ever know. It's not forgiveness, not exactly, but it's something close. It's acceptance. Therapy is a long road. I know I'm not cured, but something has shifted. The gnawing emptiness is still there, but it's not as all-consuming. I'm starting to see a future where I'm not just a wage cuck living on tendies, and dread a future where I might actually be happy. Our last session is bittersweet. My insurance is changing. I have to find a new therapist. We talk about my progress, the work I still need to do. As I'm getting ready to leave, I pause at the door. Evie, I say, using her old name for the first time since that first session. She looks at me, a question in her eyes. Thank you, I say, my voice thick with emotion, for everything. She gives me a small, sad smile. You're welcome. My name. I walk out of her office and into the sunlight. The world looks a little brighter, a little less scary. I still have a long way to go, but for the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm on the right path, and it's all because of the girl I bullied in middle school. Life is a weird, fucked up, beautiful thing.